Donald Trump, this message is for you. My name is Clifford T.I.P. Harris. I say this as non-violently but unapologetically as possible. Fuck you and fuck what you stand for. Nobody who support me will support you. End the message.
Clifford, the ever articulate Clifford Harris. Now, according to Clifford Harris, aka T.I., he tells Donald Trump, nobody that supports me will support you. Fuck you. Okay? Now, let's just have a real quick talk, all right? Number one, I want to tell all of you guys that are getting outraged over Donald Trump, let's not get outraged over Donald Trump sometimes too, because sometimes you're like, what the fuck? Now, I will not lie, and I have to be completely transparent. Some of it is, actually, a lot of it is the media. The media kind of shortens sentences, kind of doesn't let him explain, and sometimes he does say some ignorant shit. So it's kind of the media, kind of him. And regardless, he is someone who is evoking a lot of emotion from people. But let's be clear about this, all right? Donald Trump is not trying to get your vote nor mine. Okay, Donald Trump obviously has a base. He knows that base, and when he makes any type of extreme comments that might drive you and me even further away, even though we weren't going to vote for him anyway, and I'm thinking, I'm kind of lumping us all in, right? Because I'm just going to say black folk, right? He's kind of saying, I'm not really pandering to y'all. I got a base. I got a base of conservatives who are tired of people kind of not saying how it is, doing this politically correct shit, talking about everybody could come in, everybody matters, everybody this, everybody that. They're saying, fuck up with that nonsense, okay? That's what his base is saying. All right, then you have the radical base, which are definitely racist, who didn't like niggas, who didn't like gays, who didn't like Hispanics, who didn't like Arabs, who didn't like anybody that don't look like them from the get-go. They're riding with Trump too. So let's be clear. Donald Trump is not looking for me or you to vote for him. He's not looking for Clifford to vote for him. He's not looking for academics. Now, again, to me, Donald Trump is like any other politician. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's like any other politician. He's blowing smoke up everybody's asses. He's really pandering to the crowd that he got. He doesn't have a black crowd right now, or the majority of it, the black crowd that he does have is like conservatives. They just want to hear that money talk, right? So anybody who's really fucking with Donald Trump on the black side because he doesn't get social issues, they're dealing with him because he's talking good shit, and I gotta admit, he's talking some good shit when it comes to trade. You know what I mean? Come on, like, you know what I mean? People want to get their money. And a lot of people, you might not want to agree with it or accept it, but a lot of people vote with their wallet. Believe me. Now, here's the big issue. Despite the president we actually get elected into the United States, they're a figurehead, they're a puppet. They're not going to do nothing. They're going to make a lot of promises, but really they can't deliver. I mean, they would love to deliver, but they can't. Number one, most of them, they're tied by lobbyists, even though you could say, oh, Donald Trump isn't. But the fact is, when he gets into the White House, if he does, and then obviously Clifford doesn't want him to, and a lot of you probably don't want him to also. And by the way, protesting won't help. The only thing that matters is the vote, right? Now, if he gets into the White House, as with any of these politicians that are campaigning, they're going to face the same thing Barack Obama faced. I remember listening to Barack Obama and I said, damn, if there was one motherfucker that really could shake shit up, it'd be him. Now, I'm not going to say Barack Obama didn't do a fine and splendid job, but let's be honest. Barack Obama is pretty much more the same. Let's just be honest, because what you're envisioning for yourself and for quote unquote your people, whatever people that is, believe me, those changes just can't get passed because nobody's agreeing. We have a system and a Congress, and of course, it's a political system and how we get shit passed and rules in effect and policies get to be bills and such forth. You can't get nobody to fucking agree. You got the Republicans over there saying, fuck you, right? It happened with Obama. I can give you the Obama administration in a nutshell, right? Basically, he came in. Some people say, oh, fuck that nigga. Because he's a Democrat, we not working with him. That's what the Republicans said. We ain't doing shit. Basically, then we kind of got into a gridlock. Nothing was happening. A bunch of threatened to shut down government and all that shit. Then all of a sudden, you see some people start with this whole bipartisan, or they're going to kind of work together. But because of that, some of Barack Obama's people, Democrats themselves, said, oh, word? Y'all working with the ops? If you're working with them, we can't fuck with you. So we kind of offset each other. So basically, we can't get nothing fucking done in this country because we got two sides that are so fucking separate, we can't get nothing into effect. And yes, you could do a bunch of executive orders, but how long and how effective will those be? Because eventually they'll probably be repealed. So in essence, you get to realize that the presidency, I mean, if you watch this whole presidential run by all these candidates, look at it as like a reality show. It's nothing more. Trust me. You're placing too much stock in all these things, and trust me, it won't really affect your life. It won't affect your bottom line. It really won't change your life for the better or really for the worse. Yes, some things will be a little bit different, but will it drastically change any of these guys, no matter who, from Bernie, and I love Bernie, from Bernie all the way to Trump? No. Because half of the shit, not even half, 99% of the shit that Bernie wants to get put in place won't get it put in place. 99% of the shit that Trump wants to get put in place won't get put in place. Hillary's probably like 80. Rubio and like Ted Cruz is probably like 80. Won't get put in place. But basically, it's about a bunch of nothing not getting done. So I understand the outrage. People don't like Trump. And the thing is, more of all, is that Trump has actually mobilized a part of the Republican Party that has been kind of dormant. The extreme racist, right? And I don't want to just demonize his whole following, because some of these people are nice, fine people. They just agree somewhat with Trump, or they agree in certain facets, not completely, or even if they do agree completely, doesn't mean they're a bigot or a racist. They might just be in fear. But then there are certain people that are just flat out racist. Okay, somehow he's mobilized these people. These people, they're coming out in massive numbers and they're fucking voting. Let me tell you this, all this campaigning, all this chanting, all this like let's interrupt shit, none of this matters if you don't show up at the poll. And that's just what it is. And even if you do, and he doesn't get elected, I'm trying to let you know that none of these candidates will provide significant change. In the end, this is the USA. The rich will always get richer. Even if Bernie tried to make promises to, believe me, it doesn't matter. The rich will always get richer. The poor will always get poorer. And believe me, this whole separation between black and white, I think it would only get worse. Trust me. Okay, your presidential candidate or the presidential nominee or whoever gets in the office of the White House will not matter. But at least for right now, we have something to be occupied with, because in the end, it will not matter. 3 years from down the line, or let's just say 8 years down the line, we'd be like, damn, we did a lot for nothing. Nothing got done. Get in the comments, you guys like. Definitely subscribe. I'm glad Clifford, of course, uses his voice to speak out, whether positively or negative, about any candidate, because I think it is a good thing to get people involved in the system. But let's be honest and let's be very realistic when it comes to the political system. It's not going to do much. It's not going to do much unless you are an active participant in every single, not only poll, but vote for a candidate, and you are on these people from your local representative all the way to the highest office in the land, you're on their ass fucking daily, nothing will get done. Don't be fooled by this shit, man. Don't be fooled by Hillary. I think Hillary's a fucking liar. I like Bernie, but I don't think he's going to win. And if he does win, half of the shit won't go through. Trump, you know what I mean? He says some stuff when it comes to economics, but socially or social issues, he doesn't get it. And obviously, he says some stuff to rile up a very racist part of his fan base, and then he doesn't denounce it. So you got to look at him like, this motherfucker don't even like me. None of these candidates are perfect. None of them are really for you. No matter what they say, they're really just more of the same. It's just about getting your vote. Get in the comment box, make sure you guys like. Definitely subscribe. I know a lot of people that have been asking me what I think about the whole political process right now. I go through the phases. You know what I mean? I go through the phases. Listen, we're going to vote like whenever we vote, whatever the candidates are, we will vote on. But I think it's probably going to be Trump versus Hillary. I would rather it be Trump versus Bernie. But I think Trump might win if it's Trump versus Bernie, because Bernie got some really wild policies. Okay, it's good for poor people, but you know what I mean, as I said, the rich people control shit, and they'll be damned for a nigga to get up in the White House talking about we gotta help these poor people too much. I'm out, man.